Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, Lost Unpassed Sports Reflection and News. As we all know, the Toronto Raptors were able to defeat the Golden State Warriors 105-92 behind Kawhi Leonard's 36 points on Friday night. The win by the Raptors gave them their second straight win at the Oracle, and they now lead 3-1 against Golden State, and they are in the driving seat to close out the series later on tonight at the Air Canada Center. Okay, before, we get into, just like my prediction of how I feel like Game 5 is going to play out, I just want to give you all just, what happened in Game 4, what transpired in Game 4. So, Toronto trailed 46-42 going into halftime. However, they did something to the Warriors that the Warriors were accustomed to doing to other teams. The Raptors were able to outscore them 37-21 behind Leonard's 21 points in the third quarter. They thoroughly outplayed Golden State, and with them being able to outscore them 37-21, they gave them a 79-67 lead going into the fourth quarter. And the Warriors were unable to cut into that lead and was able to make it a game in the fourth quarter. And it really stunned the Warriors. They wasn't used to being down after the third quarter. They weren't used to getting punched in the mouth like they did by the Raptors in the third quarter, and they wasn't used to a superstar just dominating the game like that since LeBron and Kyrie did that to him in 2016. It was something, it was shocking, like I said, going back to after what I said after game 2 when I felt like it was going to be tough for the Raptors to win those games at the Oracle. They proved me wrong. They proved a lot of other people wrong. They just thoroughly outplayed the Warriors. Like, the only quarter the Warriors actually won was the first quarter in Game 4 and a few quarters in Game 2. It was, just a thorough like beating by the Raptors so far. And they only have one game to go to close out the series, and it's not looking too good for the Warriors. They are facing their first 3-1 deficit during this whole tenure, during this whole 5-year tenure that they had together. And I don't know. I don't really see them coming back from this deficit. I don't. I think the Raptors are going to be able to close this game out tonight. But yeah, just some more stats about from Game 4. The Warriors stars, they didn't play too well. Well, Clay played well. He was 11 for 18 from the field. He had 6 3-pointers, and he had 28 points. But Curry was 9 for 22 from the field, and he only hit 2 threes. That totaled out to 27 points. And he did, even though he managed to have 6 assists, he did have 3 turnovers. And he played not so good defense. But, that's typical of Steph Curry not to play the best defense. But, the effort just didn't really seem there. They wasn't doubling, tripling the team as much in Game 4. They was pretty much playing them stand up for the most part of Game 4. And he still was unable to really dominate. And like I said, his shot wasn't falling. He was 2 for 9 from the three-point line compared to Klay Thompson, who was 6 for 10 from the three-point line. So once again, Curry didn't, step up like Curry didn't step up like the team needed to lead him to. Klay Thompson came back from his injury. He did step up, but that was kind of the only guy who really contributed in a big way. Also, Draymond Green had 10 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 Draymond had 10 points, 12 assists, and 9 rebounds. Almost had another triple-double, but he had 5 turnovers to go along with that. And, they need more than 10 points from Draymond. I know he's not used to or accustomed to scoring more than 10 points these days, but, with KD being out, they definitely needed someone to step up, and Draymond was unable to do that. Also, they bench only put up 18 points. Kevon Looney had 10 points and 6 rebounds after, he came back from his shoulder injury. That was a good outing from Kevon Looney. He really stepped up. He played very well. And also, Sean Livingston had 6 points on only 3 shot attempts. So, he played a pretty good game as well. On the Toronto Raptors end, Siakam had 19 points and 6 rebounds. Kyle Lowry had 10 points, 7 assists, and 3 steals. Although Kyle Lowry was 3 for 12 from the floor, he played the point guard position exceptionally well in that game. He had some big buckets in the fourth quarter. He had some big steals in the fourth quarter. And although, he didn't play, he didn't have the best shooting game, he still managed to keep Curry in a relative check. Off the bench, Ibaka had 20 points and 2 blocks and 4 rebounds, and he had a +11 plus minus. Ibaka played well. He played great. Ibaka, once again, he stepped up. The last 2 games, he totaled 8 blocks. And Ibaka, he really, showed up. He bringing that veteran presence on the court into the team, and it really is beneficial to the Raptors. And he has played a really pivotal role in them taking a 3-1 lead. And of course, Fred VanVleet was only 3 for 9, but he did have 8 points, and he did play well. The only problem with VanVleet was that he got elbowed in the eye by Sean Livingston midway through the fourth quarter, and that led him to have to come out the game because he was bleeding profusely from his eye. But he came back to the bench and he cheered the team on, and he stayed there for the team. He still believed in the team, and I know Fred will be ready for Game 5 at home. I know he have a chip on his shoulder now because the play that Livingston did, I don't want to say it was dirty, but it seemed like it did have some intent behind it. I don't know too many guys who go for a rebound and then they elbow come down in the way Livingston did it, but things happen, I guess. And one thing that Toronto could be proud about is that they still managed to hold on to the lead without VanVleet. Also, just some stats from the game. No one stat, like far as team stat, really stood out from one another. The Raptors shot 42% compared to Golden State's 45%. The Raptors was 23 or 24 from free throw line, which was great, compared to Golden State 14 for 21, which is not so good, just around 70%. But one thing that kind of stood out about this game, and you see in the end, this is why Golden State didn't win. They had 19 turnovers compared to Toronto, who only had 11 turnovers. And Golden State was only 8 for 27 from the three-point line, which is a 29.6% compared to the Raptors, who only hit 10 threes. But anytime the Raptors are able to hit more threes than the Warriors, that is never a good sign for the Warriors because, one, the Raptors are a middle-of-the-pack team shooting threes, and the Warriors are one of the greatest teams ever in shooting three-pointers and three-point percentage. So, it was really shocking to see them, not be able to hit these threes and not be able to capitalize like they were supposed to. But, maybe it's just Toronto time. That's just how things go. This is the Golden State Warriors' 5th straight finals, and, maybe fatigue is kicking in. But I don't want to use that as an excuse for them. I just really feel like they are being thoroughly outplayed by a team that's better than them, a better defensive team, a team that's more hungrier, and a team who has the best player in the NBA right now, which I feel is Kawhi Leonard. My prediction for Game 5, I know I said it pretty much early in my video, but I think the Raptors are going to close them out tonight. I feel that Kawhi Leonard is going to have another big game. I do feel like Fred VanVleet is going to play well off the bench. And I feel like Danny Green is going to have more than 3 points tonight. I think he's going to have one of them big games like he had in Game 3. So I think, Toronto are going to close them out to win the series 4-1. And I feel like they are going to be celebrating their first championship tonight. And Kawhi is going to win the Finals MVP. And just another note, the only team to come back from 3-1 in the NBA Finals was, of course, the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers behind LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. And, the Cavs had, a lot of things go their way to come back with the Draymond suspension in Game 5, with the Andrew Bogut injury, with Harrison Barnes only shooting 18% from the field in that series, and, Steph Curry just disappearing. I don't see the Raptors disappearing like the Warriors did. So, yeah, I expect the new champion to be crowned tonight. That team from Canada, that team up north, the team that Drake is representing. And, yeah, I believe the Toronto Raptors are going to win their first ever NBA championship tonight. And Kawhi, will be truly recognized as the best player in the NBA. Thank y'all for looking at my video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like I said, I love y'all for, giving me a chance and listening to what I have to say. And I'll be back soon. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Peace.